Welcome everybody. I am the air quotes comedian, and this is redacted, censored, and otherwise having its First Amendment rights violated, or would be if I was actually revealing any new government crimes. Yes, this is the Polemics podcast. Welcome. Crime Stoppers. Do you know of a crime being committed by the government or wish to expose tax avoidance by wealthy oligarchs? Then contact us, Crime Stoppers, anonymously so that we can trace your call, accuse you of espionage, cover up what you've exposed and throw you into such a deep dark hole that you'll never see the sun again. Yeah, it's hardly fucking satire when it's basically the truth, innit? This is where we are though, ever since Obama decided that journalism was the enemy of the Republic because Julian Assange shared some leaked documents showing the US government's bare ass and the untreated hemorrhoids hanging off of the American anus. Julian Assange, enemy of the Democrats and their supporters because he embarrassed the warhawk, overtly racist, neoliberal cunt slime that was Hillary Clinton, and also hated by the Republicans for some fucking reason I've yet to fathom. I don't know, maybe it's because they're authoritarian, anti-democratic cunts. Who knows? Of course, Assange, who, let's make no fucking mistake, is a hero and a martyr, isn't the only one lifting up the skirt of our supposed democracy to reveal the shit-stained knickers of the corrupt relationship between the US government, the private side of the military-industrial complex, and the endless war crimes and atrocities committed by the US terrorist empire. At the time of writing, contestant for the absolute best name ever and unrepentant whistleblower, reality winner, was released from prison after receiving the longest possible sentence she could get for... Wait, what? For blowing the whistle on Russia's email phishing scam to influence the 2016 election. So what the fuck was up with that? Oh, I get it. She was arrested in 2017 when that bloated fat fucking loser and orange-faced twice impeached lying cunt was in office for one term. That explains it. Edward Snowden, another patriotic American whistleblower, revealed the US government's illegal surveillance of its own citizens, which is ongoing, by the way. Rather than applaud him for sharing the ultimate upskirt shot of the CIA, the government labelled him a traitor and charged him with crimes. Edward Snowden managed to escape from the USA, perhaps in a scene reminiscent of Escape from New York, except perhaps a bit more mundane and without Snake Plissken. He ended up in Russia, where he sought asylum and is now a permanent resident there. Borscht is probably preferable to whatever food substitute they're serving up in the Supermax prison these days. Then, of course, we have the stand-up US heroine Chelsea Manning, who basically pantsed the military-industrial complex, revealing the skid marks on the USA's Y-fronts. There are many, many more whistleblowers, and they all have the same shit in common. The US government fucks their asses harder than Bill and Bub's gas station sushi. The latest, at the time of writing, gonna wear that phrase out, was the government losing its goddamn mind because the Pulitzer Prize winning investigative news outlet ProPublica had received IRS documents outlining that the richest people in the US pay no fucking taxes, which, let's face it, was not really a secret in the first place. The government's immediate response was a witch hunt, but not for the tax-dodging billionaires who were revealed to be paying less tax than Bill and Bub's pump and dump. No, they wanted the metaphorical head of the person who'd sent the documents to the news agency. The government actually said that, for real, in public, to the public. The social media recently enacted a new policy whereby any news obtained by hacking, espionage, or leaking of materials in a criminal fashion would not be hosted on their platform. unless it's something that suits their neoliberal narrative and furthers their capitalist aims, of course. Apparently, the social media have no fucking clue as to how real journalism works, just as they have no idea what free speech means. Look, I'm approaching the bit where I have to say stuff and agree with people I despise, and, well, it doesn't make me feel warm and fuzzy. I'll just insert a bit before I get to that, though. Free speech, that's what we have in the USA, allegedly. You can't yell "fire" in a crowded movie theatre, which is certainly where I want to be executed by firing squad when the right-wing revolution comes. Of course, there's nothing physically stopping you from yelling "fire" in a crowded movie theatre, but you might be prosecuted for it, unless there really was a fire. Mr. Cruz? Yes, I am Mr. Cruz of Scientology fame and also that fighter plane movie. Mr. Cruz, I'm Special Agent Sarah Fromage Petit Pois of the FBI, here to arrest you for yelling "fire" in a crowded movie theatre. I don't go to the movie theatre. I go to Scientology church like a fucking idiot. We have a copy of the movie where you yelled "fire" and now you're under arrest. Now let's put these child-sized handcuffs on you. There are very real limits on free speech. To me, it's a matter of privacy versus public interest. Doxing, i.e. releasing the name and address and other private details of somebody on the internet, is a good example of this. Do I think doxing Frankie fascist for equating a given race with vermin is a good thing? Should they lose their job pumping gas at Bill and Bub's Pump and Hump? No. It might be different if Frankie Fascist was a cop, because then the public good comes into play. Of course, being a racist cop is a feature rather than a bug. In Germany, home of nudists, ultra-quiet Sundays and cakes that shame the rest of the world, you're not allowed to deny the Holocaust. Now, while the Holocaust definitely did happen and anybody who denies it is a cunt, I think that they should have the right to deny the Holocaust, like a cunt, regardless of what country they're in. But if you're going to say it, then definitely say it in Germany. But try some of their cakes first. Of course, it is fine to say such hateful lies on the social medias in the USA, because, I don't know, it makes them money, I guess. They let Uber-Nazis organise to commit assaults and murders of decent people, and not so decent people like elected officials, but are really quick to give me a 30-day ban when I jokingly call my niece a cunt. Okay, this is the bit where I find myself in agreement with some real scum. PragerU had this lawsuit against YouTube because YouTube flagged one of their videos as being inappropriate or something. Fuck me, all of PragerU's videos are basically a treatise on how to be objectively evil through misinformation, outright lies and denial of science in favour of fairy tales. But I digress. PragerU's legal argument went along the lines of social media should be treated as a public utility rather than a private corporation. As a legal argument, it's shit and was laughed out of the court. But despite the fact that it goes against PragerU's neoliberal capitalist ideal of what a private corporation should be, until it contradicts their own desire to spread bullshit propaganda, they make a point I can fully get behind. Look, I'm a leftist. An anarcho-communist, right? And despite the fact I absolutely hate the diaper Don's coke-addled guts, I think his removal from the social media is a fucking disgrace. I understand the legal basis of why a privately owned social media can do basically whatever the fuck they want, but legal issues aside, I cannot help but feel that this should not be the case. Yeah, we can all feel good that they silenced a hateful, spiteful and dangerous bigot, but what will your argument be when they come and silence you? That's what some of my fellow lefties cannot get through their heads. Anyway, after that I definitely need a shower. But regarding PragerU's social media argument, it just goes to show that even a stopped clock is totally fucking useless. That's it for this episode of the Polemics. Hit the dislike button and then fuck off.